tough luck, Casper. You seem to have a bit of momentum after saving the match points in the third, but tell us what happened at the beginning of the fourth.
Yeah, it was tough match out there. In the third, like you said, I was able to come back from set points down and saved some set points in quite a way, and I felt like I was working my way into the match, but I had a poor start in the fourth, and then Jenson, clipped some great returns, clean return winners on my serves, and got a couple of breaks, and I couldn't recover from that, unfortunately. So I gave it my all, but in the fourth set especially wasn't enough. The first two sets were sort of closer, but I ended up getting broken a bit too many times, so that's something that was maybe the key to part of the reason why I lost today. I didn't serve precisely enough, and against Jenson, he with the great returns and the great returner that he is of the ball, he's going to make it tough for you if you don't serve well.
Any questions? Yeah, no.
Hi Casper, how difficult a player is he to play? Because he's obviously pretty unconventional.
Yes, I mean, I think it's fun to watch him because it looks very different from many players. I always sort of enjoy watching him when he plays. I don't watch all his matches, obviously, but if he's on and I have a chance to watch, I think it's interesting because it makes tennis looks a little different from many other players, but he plays really well. I mean, he plays flat. He defends great from both sides, and it's a tough matchup for me because I never really get any higher balls or balls where I feel like I can generate my heavy topspin shots that I like to play. And the few times that I was able to, he counterattacked great from both sides, I must say, and keeping the ball low and deep. So it's a tough matchup for me, and I know it's going to be for many years probably, but I will try to learn from it. And I think that he played great today. I mean, didn't make many errors at all. And I didn't feel like I played particularly bad or not the level that I wanted to play, but he just ended up winning many of the longer rallies and had sort of an answer to all the questions that I asked him, sort of.
Can I ask what you said to him at the net, and how does this fortnight sort of pair out to your own expectations for yourself?
I said well played, and that he was annoyingly good today, because like I said earlier, there were many sort of interesting rallies where we were rallying back and forth, playing a little, not cat and mouse, but he had the attack, maybe I came back and was controlling the point, and then somehow he guessed right or came back in the rally again, or it was the momentum shifted all along. So it's frustrating when you feel like you have the momentum in a rally and then a player pulls out a shot like he did in the last game, for example, where he does that slice down the line, on the line, which is like the only shot he can play, and he's able to do it. So it's frustrating and annoying at the same time, but at the same time I gave him credits because he stayed in there and fought well. Physically, it was a tough match. It was close to 4 hours in 4 sets, so he fought through well and didn't seem to be affected by the duration of the match. And I just said good luck for the rest of the tournament as well.
Hi Casper, tough luck today. Just wanted to ask about the medical timeout, what the issue was, how much it was hampering you, whether it was something that had been bothering you before the match when you first felt it.
Yeah, it's a little tension and some slight pain in my abdominal, and it's something that has actually been with me for around 2 years, the last 2 years since I got a strain here 2 years ago in the 4th round. It's still sometimes a little bit of an issue that I hope this period that I will have now in front of me of 4 or 5 weeks of not too much serving and rebuilding my body a little bit will help with the problem, because it's not the first time this happens. And just releasing it with the physios can help a little bit. It just sort of tightens up my left side from the serving, so it didn't affect me a lot, but I felt it a little bit towards in the second set, and in the third and fourth I was able to serve a little more freely and feel better in the ab. So I don't hope it's nothing serious, but it does come a little bit back here and there sometimes, so I need to take care of it and hope that I can sort of get rid of it for a long time, hopefully now.
Casper, I think you've said that you're going to sort of use February in the next few weeks kind of as your off-season.
Yeah.
Just wondering, kind of in hindsight now, obviously you played all those exhibitions with Rafa in South America. Do you think that maybe that wasn't the best preparation for the Australian Open and something you might reconsider in the future, sort of how you spend that off-season?
I'm not sure. I mean, it's very easy to sit here now and say that that was bad for maybe both Rafa and I due to the fact that we lost early here. But I don't, at the same time, I mean, I see no reason why we couldn't have a good Australian Open or a good time down or made better results down here. I think it's coincidental sometimes. You know, I think I've realized that there are, in my eyes, so many good players these days that you will have chance to beat many players on tour, and there's a chance that you will lose to many players on tour. So the margins are small these days, and I just realized that, you know, even though, you know, I don't feel like a worse player or that I'm in physically worse shape than I was during the US Open, for example. There I made the final here, I lost second round, but that's how it is sometimes. I mean, in US Open, things sort of leaned my way. I won a top 5-setter in the third round against Tommy Paul. In the third set, I saved 3 or 4 set points, and I was able to sort of win that match, and then the margins were on my side. And today, I felt like maybe the margins were a little bit sort of against me at sometimes. You know, set point in the second set, he hits a let cord. I think he also painted a lot of lines today on the baseline, so there's small margins that they can maybe fly out the next time. So I don't know. I mean, it's a good question, and I don't really have a good answer, but I look forward to having some time off, spending it at home, and getting ready for hopefully another good and long year on tour when I start again.
Last one in English.
Sorry, just following up on that, I don't know exactly what the schedule of that South American tour was. Were you able to have an off-season, a pre-season training block?
Kind of yes and no. I think we left the day after Nitto finals, and then I got back to Norway, I believe December 3rd maybe. And then December 5th, I believe, I left for some holidays for around 7-8 days. And then I went to the Maldives. So on the way back, I stopped in Abu Dhabi because it's not that far away. And I practiced 3-4 days there and played the Mubadala tournament. So that week in Abu Dhabi was kind of like, it's not the right thing to say preseason, but there were great players there. I practiced with Norrie, Tsitsipas, Alcaraz, and I played 2 matches. So it was sort of a little mini week of preparation, and then I spent Christmas home continuing to train, and then I sort of was hoping to use United Cup period and Auckland to sort of train well and play a couple of matches before coming into this. So it was, back to maybe your question, was maybe not enough to be able to perform well here this year. So it will be considered by me and my team what we'll do in December this year, and if this was the right way to prepare for Australian Open or not, who knows. Maybe it looks like it was not the right way, but there are many factors that come into play. So, I mean, let's see. But yeah, I've done what I felt like was the right preparation, but I wasn't able to perform and win as many matches as I hoped here this year.